Peace and love, everybody. I am late doing this live because I wanted to come up here looking decent, and I was taking care of some household duties. And yeah, I just got in the headspace to start this live, but I was intending on going on to my other social media and letting you guys know that I was going to be doing this live today. Well, technically, I was supposed to do it yesterday because it's after midnight, and I'm still up because I am probably going to have a very hard time going to sleep tonight because I'm very, very nervous. Um, Let me start off by saying, as I stated in the description, my disclaimer for safety purposes. This video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Any use of this information is the responsibility of the person who chooses to use this information and how they choose to use it. Any information that you hear online from anybody, no matter who it is, or just any information that you get anyway, I would also just highly recommend that you do your research, do your due diligence anyway. Don't ever just go and take anybody's information at face value. Definitely do your research and do your due diligence before you just accept somebody's information as fact. That's what I do, and that's what I did. So I want to go and do this video so that people will be aware of what's going on as it's going on, just in case anything, goes awry. I am scheduled to go to court technically today. Today is my son's birthday, and he just turned 18 years old today. Um, yeah, my firstborn just turned 18 years old today. That's crazy to say that. Like, I feel so many different emotions, but it's crazy that I'm saying that. That just hit me when I just said that. Um, ooh, when I tell you these 18 years of being a mother has been a journey. It has definitely been a journey. That's a big part of the reason why I named this channel Journey with the Anunis. For those of you who know, my business owns a school bus, The Journey, because life has definitely been a journey, especially since I became an adult and became a mother. Yeah, but I'm scheduled to go to court today in the Rising, for my son. I had gotten in the Rising, for my son. I had gotten forth from when I had my baby girl. But also I was already leery about going to court because they had been threatening to imprison me repeatedly in the past, like within this year. And so last year, technically last year now, because it's a whole new year. It's 2024. Throughout 2023, they had been threatening to put me in jail over this case, and that would not have been the first time that they had put me in jail. And they they directly told me that if I had went to jail, that I was not going to be let go. And so I had got arrested a few weeks ago. They did let me out the same day, but then they turned around and posted my picture my booking photo and my information on Facebook. Yeah, so out of line. especially when they already knew they were wrong. But anyway, I'm going to read to you guys this document because this is the document that they were served technically yesterday now. Um, they should have all received this document. There are multiple people who are listed and who were served yesterday, multiple organizations. And then they will be able to identify who those people, who the specific people that it applies to by looking at the records. Because the records, there's 18 years worth of records. Yeah, it would have been like just way too much to go through and literally have to pull all of the names of every individual person who was involved in this matter. But this document, what was served was for everybody who was involved in this case, meaning every government official, so-called government official that was involved in this case. The private people, the people who are on a personal side, that's is to be dealt with. People who are try identifies themselves as government officials. Um, the document that they were served is called an affidavit of fact, a writ of quo warranto. Now, from my research, quo warranto basically is just Latin for saying prove, show jurisdiction. So basically, that's what this document is demanding that they prove jurisdiction. So this case, as I said, has been 18 years in the making. So the date of the violation was in 2006. Now they have it dated for May 31st, 2006. I call BS on that because my son was born in January. As I said, his birthday is today. Um, and he was 3 months old when they took him. So I don't know how they're trying to say that the first court date wasn't until May, when the end of May, when he was taken in March or April. But anyway, I have my identity on here. I have my identity on here. My personal identity on here. I won't disclose my personal name on here, my personal appellation, or my address or my phone number. I'm I'm gonna be nice and not say the individual who I do have listed on here's name, just for the sake of keeping it unbiased as possible. I feel like they deserve to be blasted, but you know what's gonna come out is gonna come out. I'm just gonna say the name of the corporations that they work for. So, law violators is person's name, which was the first judge on my case. That they claim was the first judge on my case, and all other participants in this case for Chesapeake Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court at 301 Albemarle Drive, Chesapeake, Virginia 23322. Next is Portsmouth Juvenile Domestic Relations Court at 1345 Court Street, Portsmouth, Virginia 23704. The next one is Chesapeake Child Protective Services at 100 Outlaw Street, Chesapeake, Virginia 23320. The next one is Division of Child Support Enforcement, which is 7007 Harborview Boulevard, Suite number 106, Suffolk, Virginia 23435. The next one is Portsmouth Police Department. Now, one of these is supposed to say Magistrate's Office, I believe, but the address is correct, so they know what it is. Portsmouth Police Department is 206 High Street, Portsmouth, Virginia 23704, and the other one is 700 Port Century, however you pronounce that, is like, I guess it's Point Center, but it's spelled wrong. Parkway, um, Portsmouth, Virginia 23704. And the last one, the next one is Chesapeake Magistrate's Office, 400 Albemarle Drive, Chesapeake, Virginia 23322. And the final one is Children's Hospital of the King's Daughter Emergency Room, 601 Children's Lane, Norfolk, Virginia 23507. Now, I'm going to go into reading what this thing says. I'm going to skip the person's name, but this person and all participants in this case from the above date until today, CPS workers, police officers, magistrates, guardian ad litems, and attorneys, the medical staff at the hospital who called CPS in on us and refused to provide me with my son's medical documents, including his x-ray, must provide delegation of authority and proof of jurisdiction over the original man, woman in one day. A certified copy of the alleged delegation of authority order from the Congress as per Article 3, Section 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the United States of America as evidence of the foreign de facto corporation, the private foreign de facto corporation, corporate entity named Chesapeake Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court and Chesapeake Child Protective Services and all other parties, or any representatives thereof having been conferred lawfully judicial authorization and jurisdiction to hear and decide cases between the United Nationals and citizens of the United States of America. Hagan versus Levine. Hagens versus Levine. 415 U.S. 533. Look these up as I'm quoting them. There is no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. Joyce versus U.S. 474 2D 215. The law provides that once state and federal jurisdiction have been challenged, it must be proven. Maine versus Thibotot, THIBOUTOT, 100 SCT 2501, 1980. Jurisdiction can be challenged at any time, and jurisdiction once challenged cannot be assumed and must be decided. Bezos versus Utah Power and Light Company, 495 F 2D 90691. Now, excuse my stuttering and so on and so forth because I'm very nervous and I'm tired, but I'm nervous and I'm having a hard time sleeping anyway. But just bear with me as I go through this because this, as y'all can imagine, this is nerve wracking. But just bear with me and hear me out. A court cannot confer jurisdiction where none exists and cannot make a void proceeding valid. It is clear and well established law that a void order can be challenged in any court. See Old Wayne Mute MUT Associates versus McDonough McDonough McDonoughh 204 US 827 SCT 236 in 1907. You are under common law, not maritime law, disguised as civil law. 2. The magistrate was presented by the appellant. Now, this is what they were presented yesterday. So, should they not comply today at court? Should they not close the case and, pay what's owed? And so on and so forth, they would be also violating this. But I went ahead and left this in the document because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what they're going to do. I just really hope for both of our best interests that they don't comply, then, another violation. The magistrate was presented by the appellant with international documents using Postmaster General authority and failed to obey the law of the Universal Postal Union, UPU, which is a serious violation of oath of office. Under the International Trust Act of 1996, as amended, income, profit, or gains realized are received by an international trust or beneficiary of such trust, and therefore is not subject to tax. Now, tax being me giving them the benefit of the doubt of knowing that the law, Supreme Court has already decided that child support is not a founded thing. Like, it's not something that should be going on. It's not justifiable or legal. It is never meant to be in the best interest of the child or parents. So what else could it be if it's not you taxing us for our own offspring that we created? But that's just in case they try to, find the loophole. But anyway, 4. The magistrate has no jurisdiction and continues to commit violations of fraud, breach of trust, deprivation of rights under color of law, obstruction of justice, conspiracy to obstruct, threat, duress, coercion, and terrorism against the Anuni Nationals. The Anuni Nationals are under common law, not statutory law. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, what is a Anuni National? Let's see, where do I begin with that? I know a lot of you still call yourselves American citizens, United States citizens, or citizens of whatever quote unquote country that you quote in. But the truth of the matter is, everybody knows that this land was previously occupied before the United States of America was created by the people who came here and knew that the land was already occupied and being maintained and taken care of, and this was our home. And so what they did, which I'm going to get into, they committed mass murder and a whole lot of other things. Stole it, basically. They took it by force. Um, and in that process, a lot of people to this day still thinks that we don't exist anymore. Like, I've had people look me in my face and tell me that I can't be who I say I am because we don't exist anymore. I'm here. But anywho, so what they did is they did everything they can to wipe away our history, our nationality, our culture. And part of that destruction was the fact that one of my tribes that I come from, they destroyed any evidence that I could have possibly had to prove my nationality by destroying the library that had all of the birth records and all of the records of our ancestors that still exist. And the only evidence that I would have been able to have to show is like my father, because it was my father's grandparent, to have a photo of my father with her. And although I think I had seen a photo before, so all we have is a photo of her by herself. And because my father is not in the photo, or somebody in my family, um, so all we have is a photo of her by herself. And because my father is not in the photo, or somebody in my family is not in the photo, to tie her to me undeniably, it's hard to identify us. And this is a problem with a lot of people. And I'm not even gonna say I feel like I know that plays a huge role in why so many of us um don't even acknowledge that part of our heritage. But a lot of, like, even my own family member have an issue with the fact that that's what if I can only choose one thing to claim, then that's what I claim. I mean, I love and respect all of my heritage, or at least majority. But That's the bigger part of who I am and where I come from. So because of the fact that we no longer have a nationality um that's respected, or that has a we don't have a I'm gonna come across the name later on. Again, mind you, I'm tired. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, we don't have a national council anymore. And even when you go and visit the so-called reservations that was um supposedly allotted to us, um I personally don't think that those are my original bloodline by a long shot. You can look at me and you can look at them, and you just know. There was a thing back in the day, and I don't mean I'm making these faces, and because I know that there's going to be some people that try to put me in a category really they probably belong in. um and I really don't even care for real, but at the same time I want those who need this information to you know do your research. But anyway, I digest. So where was I at? So okay, the international. So like I said, because they erased our culture and our nationality and so on and so forth, and we have become so divided now. Granted, a lot of tribes, we did have rival tribes. So like tribes were beefing against each other or whatever, but I don't know that it was to an extent of the way it is now, where we can't find anybody to work together. Like a tribe was a tribe was a tribe. Like it take a village to raise a child. It take a village to support each other. Like we all supported each other within our tribes or whatever, and multiple tribes were interconnected. Like I know that my tribes all had the same chief. So yeah, we were all interconnected, and right now it's like so far from that, because we don't even respect our own nationality. We don't respect our own culture. We don't pass down our culture and our heritage and so on and so forth. So what the Anuni Nationals is a way it's a way for us to come back together and to redevelop, re-tap back into ourselves and find our own culture again, to bring it back together and define that unity that we used to have. Um, Rebuilding our own nation. We have that right to do that, especially under the circumstance that our nation was so violently destroyed. It was so tragically and violently destroyed. Like our blood literally courses through the soil so heavily and so deeply. We have every right to rebuild our nation. And so that's what the Anuni Nationals is. And I'm not going to continue to try to explain anymore. If anybody have anything to say, any questions, it is what it is. I have a habit of over explaining and just expecting what people are going to say or be thinking and so on and so forth. And I'm going to stop doing that. Let's continue. Violation number 1. This is where it gets good. Violation number 1. Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America, 1786, Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Let me read that again. The Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America of 1786, Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, their houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. If you have had that right violated ever in your life, I want you to put a purple heart down below. Shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath of or affirmation, supported by oath and affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. How many times have y'all had, and I want you to put the number beside your purple heart, how many times have you had your property searched without a warrant, or without the warrant identifying every place and everything that they searched or seized? I guarantee you it's a huge percent. I've just witnessed too much. I guarantee you it's a huge percent. Where was I at? No warrant was presented when the Corporation of Child Protective Services showed up demanding that I let them take my son and daughters under extreme threat and duress. I was threatened that if I did not do whatever they said, when they said, without too much question or any resistance, they claimed to have the right to permanently remove my son and daughters from my protection, and that I would not be able to stop them. The parties all took advantage of a very young adult who had not been educated or prepared to handle this type of extreme personal attack. Over the 17 plus years of this going on, I have been socially and financially incapacitated with the use of lies and manipulation of the system to try to twist the law to make themselves immune to the law itself. Violation of a constitutional oath is a misdemeanor and is an act of treason to disobey the oath of office and civil duties. Violation number 2. Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America of 1786, Fifth Amendment. I have always had the right to remain silent, meaning I did not have to speak with any of the agents involved in this case created against my family. Yet, as I have stated above, I was never given the acknowledgement of such rights and was threatened with the permanent seizure of my son and daughters, that if I did not answer all of their questions, including very private information of myself, the name that my mother gave me that they turned into a trust, that trust, my son and daughters, and the trust that were formed under false pretense using the appellation that I gifted them alone. Appellation is another term for what we think name means. Um, Violation of a constitutional oath is a misdemeanor and is an act of treason to disobey the oath of office and civil duties. Mind you, every time I was arrested, I was never, ever, I have never been read my rights, ever. Violation number 3, Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime should have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusations to be confronted with the witnesses against him or her, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his or her favor, and to have the assistance of effective counsel for his or her defense. I'm going to pose this question and I'm going to leave this for y'all to figure out. Why does juvenile domestic courts not allow a trial? Like, when I say a trial, I mean they don't have juries. How many of y'all had a speedy trial with juvenile and domestic relations court? I said this been 18 years in the making. My son never came home. My son is 18 today. This happened when he was 3 months old. My son never came home. I was never given a trial because there was no sufficient evidence of a crime having been committed. I was never charged with a crime in these cases or any other. There was no allotment of a jury, nor was I permitted effective counsel. I was told that the records showed that I had an attorney specifically for my defense during periods of time that I did not. They claimed that at the beginning, they claimed that on, was it May 31st, that I had a attorney. June 2006, I had an attorney, supposedly. July 2006, I supposedly had an attorney. I would like to know who that attorney was and where and when can I finally meet them, because I was never aware of an attorney for me. What I was told was about the guardian ad litem and that the guardian ad litem was there for me. Come to find out, that was never the case. I will continue. Lies. Um, I was wrongly put under the impression in the first few years that the guardian ad litem was supposed to be there to help me. That proved to be far from the truth. Violation of a constitutional oath is a misdemeanor as an act of treason to disobey the oath of office and civil duties. Now, let me say this too, because they might, and I said I'm gonna stop doing this, but they are probably going to try to say, because this time, because I know better, I know that we have a right to represent ourselves, and that when we represent ourselves as adults versus having somebody represent you as a, like they have the word guardian ad litem. That's called that for a reason, because when you have an attorney represent you, it's like having the attorney play the role as your parent, and they're speaking for you because you're like a minor and you can't speak for yourself, and you representing yourself as saying, no, I am in full competent mind, body, and spirit and soul, and I'm a natural human being. I'm a natural adult human being who is fully capable of speaking for myself. So back during that times, I was not aware of any of this information. I was not aware of any of how to handle this situation, and I was not allotted an attorney. I was not allotted an attorney. This time, yes, they did ask me multiple times if I wanted an attorney, and I did tell them multiple times that I did not need an attorney. They did try to put an attorney on me, and I made it very clear that I did not want an attorney. If anything, I would use her for advice, to go over things with and make sure that I wasn't missing anything. But when it comes to being in court, I would like to represent myself. Um, Violation number 4, Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America, 1786, 8th Amendment. Excessive bail should not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Let's break that down. I've already told you guys that I've been arrested multiple times. When they let me out of jail, they let me out on a bond. Bond, bail, same difference to an extent. I did not pay any money out of pocket, but what they did is threaten that if I left the state or if I got in any more trouble, which I never got in any trouble, it was y'all brought trouble to me. Y'all created trouble for me out of thin air. But if I quote unquote got in any more trouble, which means if the police decides to mess with me, or if any of them decide to mess with me, they can consider that me getting in trouble and throw me back in jail and charge me hundreds of dollars that they knew I didn't have. They did this multiple times, and They knew what they were doing. They knew that I didn't have it, and they knew that I did not deserve it. They knew that they were out of line, um, and they did it anyway. So excessive bail violated. Cruel and unusual punishment. Let me know in the comments below if you think that taking base kidnapping somebody's child um just because you feel you can, because you feel that you see fit, for whatever reason, without any founded evidence, without doing proper investigation or research first, without a warrant, without any of the proper things that should have happening. Let me know below if you don't think that taking somebody's child from them punishment. I consider that very, very cruel and unusual punishment, to the extent that I now have PTSD, anxiety disorder, and depression, among probably some other things. I have a lot of trauma, majority coming from these cases. Um, where was I at? Okay. Violation of a constitutional oath and duties and disobedience of the law is a misdemeanor and assigned 1 to 5 years in prison if found guilty in the court of law. Let me read this again. Violation number 4, Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America, 1786, 8th Amendment. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Violation of a constitutional oath and duties and disobedience of law is a misdemeanor and is assigned 1 to 5 years in prison if found guilty in the court of law. Now, I personally would like to see them charged for violating this at least for every single year that they forced me and my child to go without each other. That they forced my child to go feeling like he had a mother who didn't care about him enough to fight for him, knowing when they knew that I was fighting for him. For each year that they us, forced a huge division between me and my son, to sever as much of a bond that we had that they possibly could. I think they should be charged for at least each year. I think that being charged for each year is lightweight, because a year is a long time to go without your child. A year is a long time to go without the human being that you birth out of your birth canal, that you carried for however many months you carried, because he was premature. So that's why I say that, for those who might want to be a smarty pants. Not every child was carried for 9 months, 10 months technically. But anywho, I digest. Um, where are we at? Violation number 5. Violation number 5. Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America, 1786, Ninth Amendment. The enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. As a new national, I retain all of my inalienable rights as the direct descendant of the original occupants of this landmass on this planet called Earth. Those rights includes the right to raise, protect, and nurture my sons and daughters the way that I see fit in their best interest, without interruption by any de facto government or corporation. All violations of the magistrate or any other agent partnering with the de facto government and violation of oath of office is dishonoring the law, as though the magistrate can make and or change the law as he or she pleases. Violation number 6. Constitution of the Corporation, United States of America, 1786, 14th Amendment. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Now, I already know what some people are already thinking. We're going to get to that. That's going to get addressed. I already stated, I'm a national citizen of the United States, but we're gonna address that. Just hold on to your pants. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process. I wasn't given due process, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the laws. Y'all feel like y'all have equal protection of the laws? Now, although we are aware that I am not a willing participant as a citizen of the United States of America, up until now, I have been assumed and treated as such by the agents of the United States of America and all partnering entities by trying to assert that I, the free and living soul, is actually the corporate entity that I now know is actually a trust, not a free or living soul, that is owned and operated by the United States of America. I am the divine, I am of the divine creator of the all, including the universe and the planet called Earth. As a creation of the divine, I have and retain my inalienable, look up that word, rights and privileges provided to me at the start of life by the divine, as some of you call God. Yet, even as assumed citizens, this amendment would have still been violated. Violation number 7. This is where we get into history. Treaty of New Dakota, 1835. Before I go on further, comment below if you know what that treaty is about. Pause the video and comment below and tell me in your words what that treaty is about. You did it yet? Okay. Following the passage of the Indian Removal Act, facing tremendous pressure to move west, a small group of unauthorized trying not to wake the baby up. A small group of unauthorized members of the Cherokee Nation, one of my tribes, negotiated the Treaty of New Dakota. The treaty was alleged to have given up all Cherokee land east of the Mississippi River in exchange for $5 million and new territory, Oklahoma. Now, y'all probably like, okay, way back then, $5 million was a shit ton of money, right? We're talking about members that did not have the authority to make such a deal. Let's continue. And new territory in Oklahoma. I don't have access to any land in Oklahoma. I don't have any land that I can just go to and be safe at in Oklahoma that I'm aware of. Hey, people who are indigenous to this land, my bloodline. If y'all know where I land at in Oklahoma, please let me know. The land that they claim they gave us along with the $5 million, please let me know where that land at, because I have not had a place that I can feel safe at in my entire life. Anyway, which I know of no evidence of that any of the soil of the entire landmass could have been given under proper authority by the European aggressors, even though most Cherokee people considered the alleged agreement to be fraudulent, and the Cherokee National Council, being the ones with the authority to negotiate deals on behalf of the Cherokee Nation, formally rejected the so-called offer in 1836. Congress fraudulently ratified the treaty anyway. 2 years later, the unauthorized Treaty of New Dakota was used to justify the forced removal of the Cherokee people from their own territory. In 1834, roughly 16,000 Cherokees were rounded up by the United States military and forced to march 5,043 miles to our so-called new land. Over 4,000 Cherokee people died on that journey, and the path was named the Trail of Tears. This is indicative of the conduct. We'll address that timeline if it gets brought up. This is indicative of conduct of the founders of the corporate trust called the United States of America in dealing with all of the original occupants of this landmass. And this type of conduct is continuing right here in this case with our babies and families. The moment that the Cherokee Nation dispersed under severe threat of life and extreme duress, all following descendants are left to be their own counsel or choose other counsel freely and without threat or coercion. Every party involved in this case against me has actively violated my rights to do so. Until unaltered evidence can be proven otherwise, you are required to right your wrongs. Unaltered evidence. Violation number 8, HIPAA. So many people are having their HIPAA rights violated. HIPAA is there to protect patients' medical and private information from being shared without patients, or in this case, patients' parents, because my child was 3 months old, consent. The only way this information is to be shared without said consent is under order of a warrant. No warrant was ever presented. The medical staff called and freely and willfully shared my son's medical information without my consent to individuals posing as representatives of the law or a lawful organization with the authority to take children from their parents at will. No proper investigation was ever done prior to any of these steps, and no warrant of any kind was ever issued or presented to me. 5, the United States of America is a corporation, and this one is funny to me. I actually went and looked this up because I was like, this can't be real, but it's there. I actually have it just in case they try to act like I can pull it up and present it. The United States of America is a corporation, and therefore a corporation cannot enforce law against the original occupants of this land or their descendants. Regina is the so-called Queen Elizabeth II, who was proven to be a fraud and fictitious in her claims that she or he, the fact that it says she or he, owns 52 islands with her crown colonies, corporations set up posing as government. That's the same thing that, yeah, that sounds like the same thing. All crown colonies have been removed. The crown does not exist and is disqualified. Ja versus Regina. Case number T201077746. Crown Corporation Ltd. 07597392, dissolved on 20 November 2012. Dissolved on 20 November 2012. Flat 4, Woolen House, Clark Street, London, England, E1 3ES. 6. In support of these allegations, I submit the attached details of the appellant, which I solemnly and sincerely declare are true, and request the complaints be investigated by the Judicial Commission. Speedy response and justice for removing the lawbreaker. That person, I said I won't say their name just yet, at least now, for now. And all other listed participants in these violations from position is greatly warranted. Now, I don't even know if she still holds that position or not, but whether she does or doesn't, justice must be served. 7. The magistrate must provide proof of jurisdiction, and failure to comply is an act of acquiescence. The magistrate has 1 day to provide jurisdiction over the living man, as she or he has no lawful standing. That means today at court. Yeah. 8. I hereby invoke my treaty right to consular jurisdiction under Article 20 and 21 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the Moroccan Empire and the Americas, including. 9. I make this solemn declaration conscientiously, that with faith, the same to be true by virtue of the provisions of Oath Act 1990. Now, I only needed one witness signature. I went over and beyond, and I got 10. I do have one section where I forgot to put the date, and my appellation on, but I did autograph the bottom. No, I might have filled that out when I sent it, because I did look through it. But so yeah, I might have autographed the copies. So, because I kept the original, of course, on course. And I won't even read to y'all. Well, I'll read to you this part. Allodial compensation invoice. This proceeding is not valid and cannot proceed until jurisdiction is proven to exist, and all involved cases must be closed immediately. Otherwise, the misrepresented instrument bill of attainder, foreign bill of exchange, citation numbers, and any attachments associated thereto must be submitted with prejudice for lack of jurisdiction. See Mello versus United States 50F 2D 1026. Once jurisdiction is challenged, the court cannot proceed when it clearly appears that the court lacks jurisdiction and the court has no authority to reach merit, but rather should submit the action. The following damages are being claimed against all persons in any way involved with citations number, and I won't quote all of that, but yeah, I will be taking this original copy with me when I make my special appearance at their fraudulent court, just in case they try to act like they didn't receive it. But I know they received it because I sent it certified mail, which means they had to sign for it. And if they did not sign for it, if they refused to sign for it, that will be reported as well. They tried to be slick. They did not want to allow me the information on how to send it to them. They tried to lie to me. They did lie to me and tell me that the only way to send them anything to serve them is by fax. I knew that was bogus information, that could not possibly be true. And based on the documentation, Postmaster General was the best way. And I'm also already aware that certified mail was the best way. So I just went ahead and mailed it to the regular addresses that I had. Only because they were not allowing me all of the information that I needed to individually send it to the individual people involved, as well as that just saved me the headache anyway, because that would have been a lot. but it was already a lot putting that together. It took me about a year to put that together after even finding out how to, like, what document I needed and everything. So yeah, um, they tried it, and I was gonna fax it to them anyway, but that was a whole nother $60 something or more. That would have costed me. It cost me $60 something to send it certified mail to them, and because I knew that the certified mail was had full records, like they couldn't try to cover it up or deny it, like they have to sign for it. And like I said, the postmaster general even stated that if they don't sign for it, that will be recorded too, so there will be evidence of that. So I just felt like I already went overboard with the signature, with the witness signatures. There was no need for me to spend an extra $60 something when, like I said, they have put me in very much so a financial restraint, a financial bind for all these years. So I wasn't gonna unnecessarily waste the $60 something or more to fax them when that wasn't even the way that it needed to be sent to them. But they tried it. So anyway, I just wanted to come up here and read that got to you guys because, again, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I already stated my disclaimer at the beginning, but we already know what goes on in this world and how things can go, how things can go left, how things can go south. Um, yeah, for any of you who don't know, try looking up a few people. Try looking up Nancy Schaefer. She did a very good job at exposing a lot of this information in even greater detail because she used to work for child support enforcement, or CPS. She was specifically exposing them and what happened to her very shortly after she did that video. Yeah, I want to make it clear to anybody that I have no intent in causing any harm to myself or any of my family members or anybody that I care about, anybody close to me. I have no intentions on causing any harm to myself or anybody I care about, anybody who's close to me. So, to anybody really. Um, so should anything go left or south or whatever, just know that any accusations of the S word that I won't say on here, but y'all know what I'm talking about, would definitely be false. Um, Anything happens to me, definitely related to this case, definitely needs to be investigated. Um, I've already set things up in emotion on my end, so, and I won't go into the details because it's very much so private, but you know, I have things set up on my end where certain things are put into place and certain people are notified on what to do just in case anybody tries to, you know, evade through more threat. But anyway, yeah, I just want to make sure I cover all my bases because this is a very huge thing that I never wanted to imagine myself having to deal with or go through or experience. I don't think that anybody should have to go through and experience these type of things. But unfortunately, we live in a world where we have people who are wicked and um, people who are in power, whether it's stolen power or not, whether it's unwillful power or not, they are in certain positions and they use that position for evil. And because of that, You have those like myself who are having to do things like this, and it's very nerve wracking. I'm not gonna say it's scary to me because I don't fear death for one. Um, yeah, I'm very much, like I said, a creation of the divine, and my existence goes far beyond this flesh. So you can't kill me anyway. You can only free me from this flesh. Mindful, I don't intend on doing that for myself. Um, but I don't fear it. And so it's just nerve wracking because of the fact that it's like, I don't understand why it has to be like this. I don't understand why people are this way. And I naturally have concern for the mental well being of my offspring, my son and daughters. Should something like that happen, I know that the situation with me being in the hospital for a month, on my deathbed for a month, around me having my youngest daughter, affected at least one of my daughters quite heavily. Um, and I'm sure it affected all of my offspring quite a bit. If I don't know how much any of them know. I know that my daughter, the one who I know was affected, knew more than I would have liked her to have known. I did not tell her. I couldn't have told her. I was in the hospital and barely could talk. But somebody told her more than she should have known at her age without it being 100% of what was going to happen. And so it affected her. And I know it affected her because it affected her grades. Because she's always been on the honor roll. So, but that got rectified. But my point is, that's my concern. So I just want to make sure that we have all evidence lined up. Um, that I cover my bases as much as I possibly can. And I grant that I will have y'all support. Um, I don't expect to have a whole lot of support because it's been 18 years and I haven't so far that has been like public support, like showing support. People may have supported me internally, but when it came to actively supporting me, I haven't had it. So I don't expect a whole lot, but I do grant that I will have some support, and that will make me feel more support that I have, the more favor that gives me. Um, yeah, because there's definitely power in numbers. So I'm hoping that by me doing this live, it will definitely greatly increase the numbers on my end. And we can overcome because it's time to overcome. My son is 18, guys. My son is 18. Like, bruh. You know how bad I want to go and like really do like the biggest celebration with him right now? And as far as I know, he don't even believe in celebrating. Not once. Not even once in 18 years. That was stolen from me. That was stolen from him. I don't know if he will ever know the plans that I've had for his life over the years, the things I wanted to do, and every desire to do that was stolen from us. That was stolen from us. And Otis is just the beginning. Because, mind you, I have 4 and that was stolen from me with all of them. The one that I got came closest to out of the three teenagers was my oldest daughter, because I almost got to celebrate her. I got to celebrate her birthdays with her most of her birthdays, majority almost all of her birthdays. But I never plan and throw her birthday. I almost did, because her situation literally happened 1 week before her first birthday. We'll get into that in a separate live when we get around to getting her documents together after we finish this case and see what happens. Um, yeah, guys, I've been telling y'all that I've been wanting to start exposing the truth, and this is the reason why I wanted to do that, because of these cases that are going on right now that I have been so many lies have been told, so much manipulation has been dished out, so much destruction, so much damage has been done. And I've always been out the one that's been made out to be the bad person. I've always been made out to be a deadbeat mom. That's like one of the most hurtful things. They almost took away my, like, really being a mom, because of course I was a mom because I gave birth to them, but to be a mother, to raise my own, to protect my own, to surround my own with my love. That was almost stolen from me permanently. Like, anybody who hasn't gone through this for the extended amount of time that I've gone through this, yeah, repeatedly going through this, and all of the stuff that came around this, could never begin to imagine. Like, people think I don't have emotions because they don't get to see my emotions. A lot of people don't get to see me laugh anymore. I do my best to make it where people rarely get to see me cry. A lot of times things happen or things be going on, and I don't know what people think about me, but it's like they probably forget that, like, literally forget that I feel too, because I just be numb. I've been numb for so many years. I don't even remember what it feels like to feel safe enough to express my array of emotions. Like, I used to be the life of the party when I was married, to an extent. I used to act a fool. I used to just have fun. I didn't care where I was at or who was watching. I used to I lost that person a very long time ago. Over a decade ago. Almost 2 decades ago. I lost her. And I can't wait until this case is over so I can find her again. Until these cases are over. And this is going to be a long, long process. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it because it's so long overdue. And justice must be served. Yeah. Justice must be served. And it's finally happening, whether they like it or not. Because guess what? I didn't like it when they was doing the stuff they was doing. That was so sweet. I hope she realized that's a filter. I mean, not a, well, I guess it can be considered a filter. That thing that make you look either older or younger. Somebody commented on that picture. She funny. But yeah. Um but yeah. Oh, that's so cute. That's cute. But y'all that don't know, my favorite color is purple. Purple. But anywho, yeah. I got my manifestation music on. Manifesting this shmoney's. Then they about to pay me and my babies. Y'all. Yup. Wait a minute. I'm about to play something real quick. Off topic.
Somebody said copper is toxic according to the medical media. You guys stay away from copper. I will continue to keep drinking out of my copper, just like all the copper pipes that used to be around America in 1910, 1920, 1930, 1940. Until about World War II, they all started disappearing. DuPont also got rid of all the copper pipes and everybody using copper because they wanted people using Teflon and plastic. And the whole copper is toxic is an interesting thing because our body is primarily copper and carbon. So how can copper be toxic? And then the other thing too is copper and carbon create electricity. What are we? If we don't have electricity, our body doesn't function. That's why they zap you back to life. And people used to wear copper to get rid of inflammation and pain. That was a big one. Down in the South, they used to wrap people with copper so they could get rid of inflammation and pain and osteoporosis. Somebody just said, this is crazy. Hold on, I got to read this. Mark Zuckerberg got copper plates installed in his house in Hawaii. Someone just commented. dangerous copper pipes, you know? And if you go to, like, let's say you go to the Balkan region, or you go to, for example, like Turkey and all these different places, everybody uses copper. And once you start working with copper, you'll see the difference. Once you start drinking from copper, you'll see the difference. Are using grounding shoes or maybe a grounding rod into the earth with copper, you'll see the difference.
Period. Listen.
Somebody said copper is toxic.
That wasn't all the way off topic because the fuckery runs deep. The fuckery definitely be running deep. Y'all better stop being so quick to call somebody a conspiracy theorist and start listening. If you don't believe something, just do your own research. That's all. Just look it up. And don't just like look at a couple of things because, sometimes y'all go and, bro, y'all sources be crazy. Y'all be going to the people that's going to clearly deny and then be like, see, no, that's conspiracy and da da da. But all the evidence be showing you, like, do you not pay attention to what's going on around you? Clearly not, because everybody in their phones and into the internet and into the social media things, and now they got virtual reality and all this stuff, and people trying to live in this virtual world and all types of stuff. So clearly, y'all not paying attention. But I'm gonna need for y'all to wake up and pay attention, because it's all around you. Like I don't even understand how people can be in denial still. Like, get out the river. That's all I'm saying. Just stay out of the river. Unless you know how to swim. You know how to swim, you good, but not that one. Bruh. I'm weak. Oh my god. I'm confused. The reason I'm confused is because it say Uncle Waffles following, but I see four ladies, and I'm not sure that. Okay, I'm confused.
Listen to me now.
Okay.
Listen to me now.
Okay.
Listen to me.
I see you. Whoa. I do have.
What's wrong now? What is?
Why are we doing braids this
What's
long?
wrong now? What is? What's wrong now?
Who needs some $1,500 braids?
What is?
Come holler at me. I got you.
What's wrong now? What is?
Ooh, child.
What's wrong now?
Ooh, somebody come to me and ask me for some $1,500 braids. You want some wall to wall braids? Okay. You might as well get my locks. Oh no, that's right.
It's right. I don't care how long it takes. As long as I'm with you, I got a smile on my face. It's right.
They look like sisters. Mama where? I love watching him dance, but I'm gonna need for him to come let me do his hair too. What? I love watching him dance though.
Do the other women think Shamari has a drinking problem? She doesn't have a drinking problem. She has a problem drinking. Like she just doesn't know her level. Do the other women think Shamari has a drinking problem? She doesn't have a drinking problem. She has a problem drinking. Like she just doesn't know her level. Do the other women think?
Okay. Gotcha. That was funny.
Like my heart is blue. I ain't nothing like you with you. I'm on a whole nother level. Bitches is out they league. Bitches is bad like me. Like my heart is blue.
Oh, you can see all of them in the same room together. Easily.
I ain't nothing like you with you. I'm on a whole nother level. These bitches is out of their league. Bitches is bad like
Into the
me.
bigger house. Anyway, let me stop, cause yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to come up here and do that, and I hope y'all enjoyed this entertaining video. Please show y'all support. If nothing else, like, share, comment. For real, make this video go viral. I really like, because again, Nancy Schaefer, many others. So yeah, let this video go viral, because it's definitely that time. I have no clue what's about that pop, but I hope it's my bag. That was corny, but I hope it's my money. Yo. I really just want to let y'all sit here, but at the same time, like, I want to go ahead and upload it. I don't even know what I want to do. Because if I go to sleep now, I'm gonna have to wake up in a couple of hours. I'm gonna have to wake up in a couple of hours because I gotta make it there, and it's gonna take me a while to get there. Oh my goodness. All right, we about to go ahead and sign out. Peace out. Stay tuned. Share this video. Make sure y'all comment below. Like this video. Turn on y'all notifications, which means subscribe, and make sure y'all notifications are turned all the way on, and make this video go viral. Yeah. Peace.